Good evening and welcome to IntellectualRadio.com. And you're here with Zemrah and ED, and here's the life. Good evening, and we hope that you've had a great week. We've had a pretty busy week so far.
Definitely.
We're always doing, always going, always finding something to take care of. And of course, we are in the concert mode, getting ready for save the date for Here's the Life 8. And we are so excited about that. So we are going to have William Rallis back. We're going to give him a call in about 15 minutes. And so we can kind of continue that conversation from last week. I thought it was an awesome conversation regarding health and medications, and he had some great solutions.
Explain again who he is.
He's a person
to our new audience.
Yeah, will you explain it? You know how you do things.
No, not with this voice.
You can explain it, Ed. Explain it. He's an alternative to medicine. Not that you, like we always say,
he's a naturalist.
Not that you stop taking your medications that the doctor prescribes you or any of that, but he is, to me, he's an alternative to a lot of the harsh drugs, and it works. He was able to cure himself from colon cancer by doing some of the things, and eating according to your blood type, and knowing what's good for you, because everything starts with the gut. That's what we have to understand, that all diseases and all of the struggles that we go through with our health, it really all develops, in your gut. That's why they always say to make sure that you keep yourself clean and regular, elimination. But I'm going to let the pro talk to you about it, because I want to talk today about the lymphatic system and how to really and truly cure that. We mentioned that last week about a lot of times you see people with a lot of weight on them, and their legs are heavy and thighs are heavy, and sometimes it's even in the arm, and that usually can occur after you have had cancer a lot of times. So, but I want him to explain how you can do, or what you can do to eliminate that. And it's about cleaning the lymphatic system.
Well, he did what most doctors don't do when they go to school. He studies the whole body,
right,
and the whole body system, because every system in your body works off of another system,
right,
because they're all related.
Yes,
and everything else winds up in your gut, where everything is processed.
Right.
And you can go from there.
And then I want to kind of talk about the joints.
He studied that, and he uses natural
alternatives,
natural medicine, natural foods, that's natural remedies.
Yeah.
And they all work.
Yeah. And I think mainly, again, that eating according to your blood type, I think that's everything.
Yes.
If people can do that. And first, like he was saying, you have to fast. You have to make sure that you give your body a rest from eating. And that is a cycle, and that is good. Like I do intermittent fasting, which is very, very good. Some people cannot do that. Some people don't even see results from doing that. But intermittent fasting is good, and it gives your body a chance. But the idea of it, and the key is how you come out of that fast. You can't come out of a fast and start eating fried chicken and hamburgers.
Slab of ribs.
Right. You have to make sure that you come out of it properly. Otherwise, you will absolutely get sick from that.
You shock your system.
Yeah. And you get sick. You really do. I remember years ago, a friend of mine that I went to school with, my mother, he came for Thanksgiving dinner. And I think he had fast for, I think, for a couple of days or whatever. And then he came and ate all that good holiday food and everything, and he was sick as a dog. So you can't come out of a fast glutton. You have to be very, very careful with that. And then I want to talk, a lot of men, a lot of brothers are struggling with prostate issues, and so we're going to talk a little bit about that, which I think is very, very, very concerning to brothers, well, to the male race, period. And so we want to talk with William a little bit about that. And then one thing, like I was sharing with our producer Earl, I was trying to find out every time I look up, and I have read up on it that it can come from your liver. But every time I look like I'm developing a mole somewhere. And I'm saying, Dag, what in the world is this? So I want to ask him about that. But I think it does have something with making sure that your liver is that you clean your liver, and that's part of the detox too. I know one thing that I know to be good as well. I do a lot of blueberries, and I know blueberries is real good for your liver too. So some people say that blueberries, if you soak them in vinegar, that worms and bugs will come out of them.
because
I've heard
they,
that
because they're in there.
out of blueberries. But I said I was going to try it, but I love blueberries, so I think I'll leave that alone. But anyway, I think the cherries, this is the cherry season. Oh my God, I love the dark cherries, but I love, love, love the Rainer cherries. And they are something that is really, really
That's the
good
yellow
for
one.
your joints and all. That's the Rainer, the yellow and red. They high as the Dickens, but I don't care because they don't come and stay that long. And I know a very, very close friend of ours, like a sister that's part of our group, Dolly. Dolly says she loved cherries so much at one time she had even bought a case of them, and she ate so many cherries. But I mean, they're really good for you. I just, man, and the Rainer cherries.
Think about that, man. You can't even eat them fast enough.
Well, if you love them, you can. You really, really can. But anyway, and then we're going to talk about weight, weight, weight. Why people have such a problem losing weight. I mean, you can eat right, you can exercise, and you still cannot lose weight. And I know when you get older, you struggle with your metabolism changing and all of that. That's not a problem you have
No,
because even with my intermittent fasting, I'm still not at the weight that I would like to be at. And I think too that I don't want to, I talk about not getting too underweight because if you get sick, then you have nothing to fight it with. So I think that's very, very important to be kind of conscious of that. And then sleep, you know, how do you I'm going to talk to him about being able to really be able to rest and be able to sleep and get in that realm sleep. Sometimes when you get older you have problems really settling down and really resting and sleeping well at night. How do you rest, Earl? Do you sleep well? Okay. Okay. So I guess sometimes it just depends on, and then sometimes that's why they say don't eat late either, because that can interfere. And then, that's another thing I want to find out, where does sleep apnea come from? A lot of people suffer with that. I'd like to ask him, where does that really arrive from? And how can you help that without having to go through? Some people have to wear that mask, and then they have that you implant now, that you I forget the name of it, but that you can push the button and But I want to ask some
where,
information about that too. Where does that come
well,
from?
I got a feeling the surface going to go tell you that it gets back to what you eat. I think that's what he's, well, I'll wait to see what he says, but most of the time, it always comes down to what are you putting in your body.
Yeah. Well, that's what we say too. So before we bring him on, we're going to take a short pause from the calls and listen to another tune from Love is Possible. And we'll be back
Zemrah.
shortly.
And
I
that,
am
her name is
Zemra.
Zemrah.
Love is possible when you believe that it is. Love is possible when you know that it is. When you feel like there's no hope for
just think love is possible when you believe that you're free. Love is possible when you embrace it with ease. Everything you want is yours for the asking. Love is possible when you believe that it is. Don't give in, and don't you doubt. Believing you get just what you put out. When you know that love is on your mind, love is possible. Love is possible. Love. Don't ever give up, and don't you give in. Because with real love, you know you can win. When you know that love is on your mind.
Okay, we're back. That was My Love is Possible, written by Zemrah, the music and the lyrics. And we want you to know that love is very possible. Well, joining us, as I promised, and I hope that you have gone and gotten your family and friends to tune in today with William Ronalds here at IntellectualRadio.com. And how are you today, William?
I'm good and grateful. Thank you.
Good, good. And so we really and truly we had invited you back because we were so excited about all the good information that you relayed to us last week. I was just so elated. I had a few people to tell me that you were just awesome and that they received a lot of your information. Was very happy to do that. So kind of what I wanted to kind of talk about today was the lymphatic system and
All right.
and lymphedema. Now, did we talk about that last week?
We said we was gonna talk about it this week.
Yeah. So that's kind of one of the things that I wanted to kind of get some information, because I was saying that it seems like a lot of physicians are not really up on lymphedema and the lymphatic system, as far as when you have all the swelling in the arms and the feet. I know that a lot of times after a woman has had her uterus scraped, or after breast cancer, and all of that, that they wind up having that swelling and that heaviness in their legs and thighs.
Yeah.
And so what causes that, and where does that come from? We know that it can come after surgery, but what would cause that to happen like that?
For the most part, it's something where the immune system has been compromised, and I'm giving you a simplistic version of it.
Uh-huh.
We all know that it's basically a swelling, and it recurs in the arms and in the legs, but it also can affect the chest as well.
Mm-hmm.
Neck, and for the men, genitals also. I actually had a friend that had that situation when he was younger, believe it or not.
And so where did that come from?
Now that basically, I'm going to say this, it is a form of cancer. And it is something that can occur after cancer treatment, for mostly chemotherapy sessions.
Mm-hmm.
It can cause that to happen because you have like clottage.
Okay.
And that's due to the blood not being clean, and I'm trying to keep everything simplified because we're getting those long words, people get lost in the sauce, if you know what I mean.
I know, yeah.
So let's put it like this. The easiest way that I can explain this is if you get a straw and you take some water and you suck the water through the straw, it should be easy to do, correct?
Right.
Okay. Let's say you try to do that with some grease. I'm not talking about any grease. I'm talking about old school Crisco. It's not going to work. You're going to have a hard time doing it. So your blood is acting as if it has absorbed so much grease and filth that when it's trying to flow through your body, it's having a hard time doing it. Now imagine that you got these small adaptations from what you ate, and your body wasn't supposed to take it because it couldn't digest it. So this is like the leftover stuff that sat in your bloodstream, and it's getting stuck, and it's not being pushed. So either your heart has to pump harder in order for it to go through the body, or you're going to have a clottage, which can cause other issues. Hopefully you understand that.
Yes.
This is what the lymphatic system is for, to get rid of all of the garbage that's left in the body. And when the body has not had a cleansing cycle, you have this residue that's left over. And that's one of the issues that you can have with lymphedema.
Okay, so the heaviness and the swelling. So
Yes.
what do they need to do in order to? They say it's no cure for that.
Well, don't look for a cure because they're absolutely right. I don't like using that word because anything that you cure that's a virus or an infection, that means you're giving it an opportunity to come back stronger. So we don't want to cure it, we want to kill it. And this isn't an issue where you actually are killing it. This is something that you actually allowing your body to resolve an issue with because you have compromised your body with the foods that don't fit your blood type, and now the blood has to adapt in order for it to for your body to function. Mm-hmm. So there is something that you're putting in your body that is not allowing your lymphatic system to get this stuff out. Basically, you just clogged up. Mm-hmm. That's why you're swelling up. So it could be sugar, it could be processed sugar, it could be a large dosage of dairy that's causing that, and it's literally creating a whole new life form in your body that's in your bloodstream, and you're not allowing your body to get it out. Fasting is one way that you can rid this issue, because once the body gets rid of anything that's old and is not been processed, eventually the body uses it as energy, and when it doesn't have it in there anymore, that means the blood has a way of cleaning itself, your heart having a break from overworking itself, your kidneys having a break from overflushing, as well as your liver having a break from breaking down this stuff, and not to include your stomach and your colon.
Mm-hmm. Sir, just say it. Is there a natural supplement out there that really cleans the blood?
One thing is beets. Mm-hmm. Another thing is cayenne pepper.
Now, how does beets? Now, would you do all the natural beets, or can you do the pickled beets?
The pickled beets, I don't know about the pickled beets. I use beet. I like drinking beet juice. So you get some fresh beets and put it in the juice and drink it. That's the best way you can do it. Yeah. Add a pinch of cayenne pepper, and it works wonders.
And put the cayenne pepper in with the beet juice.
That is correct.
Okay,
and you can blend it with pineapples.
Oh, wow. And so
what does pineapples actually eat up the residue in the body?
Uh-huh. So how does that because we already talked about how well pineapples are for you. So how does that work? You just use the straight juice, put a pinch of the cayenne pepper in there, and then put some pineapple in there. You don't put any water, you don't dilute or anything because you're taking
here's the thing. If you wish to do that, I don't have a problem with it, but you really don't need to do it because as a juice, it's perfect.
Mm-hmm. I know. I love beets. I make fresh beets. I love them. I think and plus they're very good for you. Okay, so that's pretty cool. And then I wanted to ask you about, as we get older, I'm noticing for me, I every time I look up, I got a mole coming up. Where does that come from, and the reason for that?
Okay. Now, I'm not too much of an expert when it comes to the moles. I got a couple myself. But I noticed that most people that eat large consumptions of pork end up having moles.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, well, I don't do that. So I think I know in reading up on it, I have found that they say that it comes from your liver. Now, have you ever heard that?
That is an indication. There's a lot of things that determine that your liver is either needed to be cleansed, because your liver is your filtration unit.
Right. Okay, well then I just wanted to ask that because I know that.
What's your liver cleanse?
Well, they have they even what is that?
What's a good liver cleanse?
Oh, they have what I was fixing to say is aloe vera. The aloe vera juice. They have one that's specific for your stomach and liver, and it's a detox. Because I have used that.
That's correct, and you can also use what is called milk thistle. It's good for the liver.
Very much so. So I've used that.
So if you suffer with lymphedema, these are two things that you should try to clean. Is your liver and your kidney and your liver. And
Can you say that again? I didn't hear you.
If you have lymphedema, because I have a lot of clients who have lymphedema. There's two things they should try to find to clean. They have to clean their liver all the time and clean their blood.
And you need to do that every 3 months.
For how long?
3 months, for 21 days religiously.
21 days.
So you do it for 21 days, you're saying, William?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I said, so you're saying to do that detox for 21 days?
Every 3 months.
Okay. And
yeah,
that
is
days,
every 3 months.
Okay.
On a regular basis, not just for the conversation that we're having. Everybody should do a detox every 3 months, the same way that your car requires new oil every 3 months or every 3,000 miles. Your body has a timeline where it needs to flush itself out regularly.
Okay, and so what detox would you say to do?
Simplest detox that you can do is a 1 week all fruit diet.
1 week all fruit.
That's it. To start there. Then if you want to add on to it, fast once a week.
Okay.
Now, and then the heaviest one is what I do. You eat in stages. Light day, medium day, heavy day, then fast, then reverse it, because you start to train your body, and that helps you keep your weight down.
Yeah, because that's one of the things I was going to talk about too. But yeah, I know you had mentioned that last week about the fasting and then eating light, eating medium, and then like your heavy meal, it was like the tacos, the fish tacos or something that you make yourself, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and that was like considered a heavy meal. That was considered a heavy meal. And why was that?
You said why was that?
Yeah, why would some fish tacos be considered a heavy meal?
For me, because I say it's heavy for me because I really don't eat a lot.
Okay.
And because of the way that I train.
Okay.
Well, don't get it wrong. My tacos be kind of big.
Okay.
So that's heavy for me.
Okay. All right, and then we wanted to talk a little bit about for men and suffering. You have so many people, so many males suffering with prostate.
That's
And
too much parasites. When a man does not clean his body of parasites, prostate cancer is heavy.
Okay. So how do they do that?
Parasitical cleanse is the same as a detox. Parasitical cleanse, do it for 14 days. You start with your liver and kidney first, and once you clean your kidney and your liver, it'll start to help that problem out as well. Eat a lot of watermelon. I tell men watermelon. You can take products like saw palmetto, nettle, a lot of vitamin C and vitamin D. Most men suffer from lack of vitamin D as well as B vitamins, and that will cause that issue as well.
And what B vitamins do you say, William?
B6 and B12.
B6 and B12, okay.
And if it's cancer issues, B17, which you can get from apricot seed kernels.
From and that's apricot what?
Yep, apricot seed kernels. They don't talk too much about that because that's that has been proven to attack cancer cells in less than 48 hours.
And you said apricot seed
kernels. Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably one of the reasons they don't mess with lymphedema, because it's not an ongoing treatment they can do. That's how you make money.
Well, what did you say?
Because it's not an ongoing treatment for lymphedema.
Oh, it is treatment. You just have to do therapy and wraps and all of that.
Doctors don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
I don't think they even study it.
I don't know why.
Most of the issues with lymphedema is, and this is just from my study, I would ask the client if they have any type of cancer treatment, radiation therapy.
Mm-hmm.
That is what will cause that problem.
Yes, that's what I was saying. But how do you get it if you haven't had any cancer? Or you've had a scraping of the uterus, and then maybe that's really not it. Or maybe they have, if you have vascular.
Here's another way that you can get that. Okay. If you are using deodorant with uranium and aluminum in it, you can catch it.
Oh, huh. Well, people need to know that you should get deodorant always aluminum free.
Yeah, I mean but it's not a science to us, unfortunately, because if you can get some deodorant for $1, you'll get it.
What deodorant would you suggest to our audience? For
any deodorant, well, I would suggest if you're in Chicago, go to my friends at cultureconnections360.com, and everything they have there is excellent. They have different types of deodorant. There's no aluminum in it. Now, it's a little expensive, but it lasts a lot longer.
And what's the name?
cultureconnections360.com. 71st and Stewart.
Okay. Culture Connection. Okay. For deodorant 360.
Yeah, but I'll text it to you. But yeah, it's called cultureconnections360.com.
Okay. And then so go back to that apricot seed kernels.
Apricot seed kernels.
And who is that by? What is the brand what is the brand that you use?
To be honest with you, I don't have it in front of me.
Okay.
But I order it and I make it into a powder for my clients.
Oh,
but I'll send you I have my house, my apartment is like a laboratory. So when I get home, I'll send you the picture of it.
And you make it into powder because it's an oil, isn't it, or liquid?
They do have. I actually use the apricot seed oil for my face. It's excellent. It has revitalizing properties in there.
Okay.
I swear by it, and I make a pain oil with it, so I actually swear by it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing too. When you have like I noticed that I have some
Dark rings.
some discoloration, and the dermatologist said it comes from the sun. And
To try the apricot seed kernel, try the oil, and I also like to blend lemon juice with it as well, and clean my face with it.
Okay. So you use that and then just kind of take some cotton and just kind of wipe your face down with it.
Yeah, I actually have a facial scrub pad, and I clean my face with it.
Oh, okay. All right, then that's something that our listeners can listen to. I mean, take heed to. So that's apricot seed kernels, because I know I was looking it up and I couldn't find I found the apricot kernels, but I couldn't find the seed.
I got you. I'll send you a link where you can buy it. Okay. But you can get it out here. They have it out here.
Okay. So I guess they make it where you
can take the oil. If you want to use it for your face, you want to take the oil. You get some apricot seed oil. Mm-hmm. You take the oil. You take a little bit of the oil. Then you take take black soap and some lime juice, and squeeze the lime juice in a small little cup with the apricot oil, and then you take it. And I have a facial scrub pad, so I will take that and I'll take my black soap, and then I'll melt the black soap a little bit, and I'll make it into a small cream, and then I'll use that on my face and clean my face off real good.
Oh, wow. So basically
soap alternative.
Yeah. So so that's like your soap alternative, like Ed said.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Now, like our wanted to know now, as far as medications, this is a question that our producer had. So are you medication free? Do you take basically anything that goes with you? Do you basically just do it, find an alternative and do it naturally?
At some point, I have to wean myself off of any medications. I haven't taken any medications since 2017 when I got out the hospital, and that was for blood pressure. So I don't take any of that. I don't take any medications. Now, let's say if I got like a headache, every once in a while I will take a headache pill. But if I can find something that helps to relieve that, I would use it. And I barely get headaches. My headaches may come if I'm not getting enough sleep. But I barely get headaches.
Yeah, because headaches basically come again from your system not being clean, right?
There you go. And then I learned Tai Chi. So there are some Tai Chi tricks that you can use to help relieve a headache.
Mm-hmm. Now, also, and how is that?
You have several points on your finger, on your thumb, and on your feet, as well as the back of your head, that once you apply a certain amount of pressure and you let it sit for about 5 to 10 seconds and rub counterclockwise, it will help relieve the headaches.
Yeah, because I know they have one too, that if you hold your hand out, your fingers out, and just massage the inside of your thumb, that also helps. Because I've done that, and that does work. And I tell you something else that I've done for headaches, and that can be, I think maybe if you have a sinus headache, if you rub castor oil on your temples and across your forehead,
as well as on your belly button.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. And then something else that I read up on too that is real good. And did that help you, Ed? I think you had said it, where if you're having a lot of problems with your feet, that if you massage your feet with vapor rub, Vicks vapor rub, and massage it in real good in your feet and put socks on, that helps your feet real well. And did that help you, Ed?
That and onions.
That and who?
Onions.
Yeah, but onions. Now, how would you use for onions?
I'm sorry?
I said, how would you do that?
Oh, your feet
you take it and put it on your feet, wrap it around with some like saran wrap, and then sleep with it.
Oh wow! I think
It absorbs a lot of toxins from your feet because all your poisons really come out of your feet and your underarms.
yeah, yeah. Well, you know they have those pads too that you can put
I mean,
on your
your
feet and
feet.
sleep with.
I mean, your feet already smell bad. Then you go put onions with them. Oh man.
If you have a refrigerator and you may put an onion in the refrigerator and you see how it begins to shrivel up,
Yeah,
because it's getting all of the toxins that's in the refrigerator the same way that baking soda does.
yeah. I do know baking soda really can clean the scents and all from your refrigerator. That's something about the onions. That's something because you're right. If they do draw, if you have it in there, it will draw up. Especially if you had it in there for a little bit too long, maybe. And then I wanted to talk about and it doesn't have to be always, the reason for eating. A lot of times that gets a bad rap. But people and the weight gain. What is your take, William, on this new shot that people are taking for this weight gain to help with their weight? What is your
It's
take
kind
on
of
that?
dangerous.
I didn't hear you.
It's kind of dangerous when people are doing that. You cannot expect things that are chemically put together to fix a natural problem that you compromised because of your lifestyle. I had somebody that I was with that had lap band surgery, and it actually helped with her diabetes that she was dealing with.
Yeah.
But her eating habits compromised her stomach, and she almost died because of that. Because she was eating foods that no longer served her purpose. She was still eating like a person that wanted diabetes.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's just say that her stomach pretty much exploded. She almost died because of that.
Oh wow.
So you have to look at that. And that's why I was saying this is a lifestyle. And because this is a program that I hope that people are actually learning from, because we can talk all day and we can say things and people love the information, but are you using the information?
No, that's true.
Is what I'm concerned about, because I have clients now that they come to me and I'm giving them information that somebody else who is more of a professional would charge a lot of money for.
Right.
And I'm charging literally half of what some people would charge for. And the people that I know professionally, they don't even get the questions that I get.
Yeah, and you are very patient.
I'm jokingly saying this, but I'm serious. Maybe I should charge a little bit more for what I'm doing. But if you are not applying the information that you're being given, then you're pretty much wasting that person's time. They're just talking. This is not for entertainment. This is for educational purposes.
That is very true. Yes, I
Be
agree with that.
entertained by what you're hearing, but be educated as well and do what is necessary.
Yeah.
And that is why I'm cautious about speaking about stuff. So I try to keep it as simple. Most of our problems can be fixed by doing some of the easiest things on the planet, such as flush out your nostrils every night.
You said what? Repeat that again.
Flush your nostrils every night.
And how do you do that?
Just take a little water on your nose and sniff it and blow it right back out.
Okay. Warm
Something
water.
as easy as that.
That's
Would you do warm water?
It's just like the massage machine.
Yeah. William, you say a little warm water?
Yeah, a little warm water.
And it doesn't have any salt or anything in it?
If you can do it with plain water, that's fine. I don't think people are ready for the salt treatment. That's sometimes, I'm going to say this, it will hurt a little bit because that stuff is going to be coming out of your nostrils. But if you do it for 2 minutes, you'll be shocked at what you see coming out of your nose.
Wow. Because it's coming from your head?
Yeah. And you feel that little tingling sensation in the back of your head because that's all that crap that's been sitting up there. Now it's coming out. And your body and your head is actually getting some oxygen.
Oh, wow. And so when you you just hold the water in your hand, because they have those neti pots too.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have it, I mean, let's go old school. I've been doing this since I was 15 years old. Take a little water in your hand, snip it up, and then blow it back out.
Oh, okay. And you said do it every night.
Every night. I do it twice a day. I've been doing it since I was 15 years old, since I've been an airbrush artist.
Wow.
Like washing your hands.
Yeah, just make sure your hands are clean, of course, but you'll be surprised what will come out of your nostrils.
Okay.
You'll be hacking you're gonna be hacking up a lot of stuff after a while because your body has had this stuff in your nostrils, in your sinuses, your nasal passages, and when it starts to come out, if you do this for 7 days, twice a day, your breathing will change.
Wow.
You may even get better sleep.
That would make sense if you do it every night.
Really?
That's correct. And that's a simple technique. Doesn't cost you anything.
That's true.
Doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
Then there's the citrus pot bath, where you actually inhale citrus fruits in a vapor. And that'll clean out not only your nasal passages, but it'll clean out your lungs as well.
And the citrus package is what, orange, lemons, and limes or something?
Not yet. So, I didn't hear you. Can you say that again?
I said, so the citrus package would consist of what, oranges, lemons, and limes or something?
That is correct. Use the orange peels, and then you take that, put it in a pot, and then after that, you will take the a little cayenne pepper and some eucalyptus oil, stir it, and take a towel, put it over your head, breathe it for about 5 minutes, inhale, but you're going to be coughing up a lot of stuff. This ain't for the weak, but that'll get COVID out of you. Now, I got to be cautious. It will get the COVID out of your system in 72 hours.
Okay, so give me that again now.
Lemons, limes, oranges, grapefruits. Take the innards, put it inside of a mason jar, squeeze it in the mason jar. Take the peel, put it in a pot of boiling water, add some bay leaves, some eucalyptus oil, and a pinch of cayenne pepper, and slowly inhale it with a towel over your head, the same way that you would, inhale steam.
Mm-hmm.
And do that for 5 minutes. Now, after you do that, make it a ritual at least once a week. But what you're going to do with the fruit, the innards of the fruit, you're going to put that in a mason jar. You're going to add some fresh water. Then add some hydrogen peroxide, like a little shot glass of hydrogen peroxide in a mason jar, and then cover it overnight and get you 2 to 3 spray bottles and pour the contents of the liquid in the spray bottles and clean your entire house. It will oxidize the house in 30 minutes.
Wow.
And if you want to add more to it, get you some fresh leaves from outside and some bushes and cut them and use that in your mix. That you just made a natural version of pine salt.
Wow. That's
anyone with bronchitis issues, older individuals, and this, I use this for my cancer patients that's in stage 3 and stage 4. They have to clean the entire house with that because the body needs oxygen. It starts to revive the body. It starts to revive oxygen so they're breathing better.
Oh, wow.
So, sir, in other words, the natural cleaning process can cure you of most of your ailments.
Yeah, because basically the body's just dehydrated.
It needs cleaning.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
That's
Well,
all
we
you have
know
to do.
that. It's just a matter, like he said, applying the things that he's saying.
Is this the
And
reason?
we're hoping that our listeners are really getting this. And then I'm gonna try, and if you text that to me, I'd like to share that about that, using the inner of that and adding the fresh water in a mason's jar and then adding peroxide. Yeah.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
Yeah, because I would like to share that, because that is
How much
really
peroxide?
good. You said how much peroxide, William?
A shot glass of hydrogen peroxide is all you need.
Shot glass.
Yeah, that is something.
And I do this on my page. I do this consistently on my page.
And what's the name of your page again, too?
It's We Ride for a Cure. If you are on Facebook, I prefer that people go to the YouTube page, because I talk a lot about this. Unfortunately, I have to be cautious about it. So when people are interested in it, I tell them to please message me, and I'll send them the information.
Mm-hmm. So when you say that you have to be careful.
Yeah, so I don't like to, I did this before, so let me give you the story behind this.
Okay.
I did this before, and my video, when I talked about cancer techniques, got over 8 million views.
Wow.
Now, the problem with that was I got challenged by a doctor because they thought I was selling snake oil. And I clearly told this guy that if you want to have a conversation about what I talked about, here's my number. Call me. So I ended up going on this guy's page. Mind you, it was almost 4 years ago. And a lady saw the video, and she was interested in my services. Now, this is why when we first started talking, I expressed the fact that we need to do a serious detox first before we start doing anything heavy. It's because all that she needed was a detox of getting all the starch out of her system. And her cancer numbers went from a 42.5 to an 11.5 in 3 weeks. All she had to do was apply the method.
Wow.
And when I was done, I told her, you don't have cancer. You have the symptoms of cancer. This is, and this is another reason for your listening audience. I say to everybody, when a doctor who's never had a condition that they're saying you have, and they're telling you to take something that they've never taken, that's perjury. It's perjury. Mm-hmm. Because you're telling a person to take something that you've never experienced the side effects, but you're making them feel so concerned about taking this stuff, and you've never went through it. So you're not an expert in cancer. You are a practitioner, and you're learning as you go. Yeah. I'm more of an expert in cancer because I've been through it and survived it and didn't do the things that you're telling people to take than you are. Yeah. So you can have the symptom, but you may not have the diagnosis that they're telling you have. You may be sneezing, but you ain't got a cold. You may just have some stuff in your nose. Yeah. You may have a cough, but you don't have pneumonia symptoms. You may have just, unfortunately, breathed some dirt and you got to cough it out. So you may have a symptom similar to that, but you may not have it. Yeah, that makes sense. So that's only determined if you do the study. Mm-hmm. So everybody has a form of cancer in your body. Yeah, I understand that. You just haven't ignited it to where it's going full mass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every 14 days, your body creates cancer cells, but depending on how your pH levels are, will determine if it's going to stay around or it's going to die off the next cycle.
Now, how can you keep your pH levels up?
First thing is you got to eat the foods that matches your blood type, and then
Right. Okay.
And then you look at the foods that matches that level. So if you're trying to keep your body healthy from catching colds, you want to eat everything that has a point ratio of a 7.0, which is a green color, a 8.0, which is a dark green going to a blue color, 9.0, which is a deep blue, and a 10.0, which is a purple. So you can get pH strips, put it on your food, and see what the ratio is based upon the color that it will turn to, and then you will know which one is good. Anything from a 6.0 to a 3.0 and even a 2.0, those are acidic foods, which is basically the soul food diet that most of us have been used to eating since we were kids.
Now, what about, well, we know that grapes are very good for you, right? I'm trying to kind of talk about, like you're talking about the fruit, when you talk about one week of all fruit when you do the detox. So what, blueberries, I mean, what fruits would you tell our audience that would be good to start that 1 week of all fruit?
Blueberries, kiwi, lemons and limes, apples. Let me see, it's a whole bunch of pineapples. We said that already. Oranges, peaches, grapefruits, all that citrus bath stuff. Strawberries.
And then
olives. Well, it's not a fruit, but olives, tomatoes, which is, it's actually a fruit, but people don't know that.
Now let me ask. Okay, so you say tomatoes are actually a fruit?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Now, what are you saying? Well, tell us about that. Because I've heard that tomatoes cause a lot of inflammation. Now, what about that?
If you're overdoing it, and that is absolutely true, but that's where you're getting the tomatoes from. So you have tomatoes that are ripe, and you have tomatoes that are full bloom that's still on the vine, but you have tomatoes that are unfortunately genetically modified. So which ones are you getting? If you don't see the actual stem that the tomato is coming from, then you should be cautious of that. The same way that if you see these grapes, real grapes are extremely huge. Seedless grapes are small.
Okay.
And here's another thing I also want to add on to this equation. If you are eating to prevent cancer, then you have to eat certain foods to lure the cancer so that you can kill it.
Oh, really?
So I had a diet, and my friends would tell me, "Why would you do this? Why would you eat that? Knowing that that's not good." I say, "You got to learn how to trap the cancer cells. Cancer cells are attracted to sugar. They're attracted to sugary snacks. Now, you get them with the sugar, but you trap them with the oxygen." Hope I didn't lose you.
Okay, you want to repeat that?
Is that the oxygenated water?
Yeah, no. Well, one of the regimens that I talked about was using the power of soursop juice and baking soda. There's another one, but I don't want to get you all flagged. Baking soda has so many benefits. It's raising your pH levels, but it also has an incredible ability to trap a cancer cell and kill it from the inside out. And there's film on that.
So repeat that again about the trap now, because
kind of like a mouse. You put cheese on a mouse trap, it smells cheese, and you get them. Okay, cancer cells are attracted to sugar, the same way a person may be addicted to nicotine. So you have to learn how to trap it in order for it to kill itself off. Cancer cells are like fish. Fish don't know when to stop eating. They're going to eat until eventually their stomach blow up. That's a cancer cell.
Wow.
So you have to make sure that whatever you're eating is actually attracting the cancer cell in order for it to stuff itself and kill itself off by way of absorbing too much oxygen or oxygenated foods. Basically, you're blowing it up.
So the oxygenated foods are what? And then we're at our time, William. You just give us that the food with
oxygenated foods.
Yeah.
Like the watermelon, pineapple, apples, melons, grapes, berries, things like that.
Okay.
Then you have your bitters, like soursop bitters, excellent. Apricot seed kernels, excellent. And there's others as well.
Okay.
But you have to learn how to trap it. So I teach people how to trap it. And there's things that you can use. Some people kind of, just like with people with diabetes. Anybody with diabetes, and I'm saying this because it's been proven, you have to learn how to master fasting.
Yeah.
You can destroy diabetes by fasting.
Wow. That fasting, though, because it gives your body a chance to rest and heal.
Exactly.
Fasting is very, very important.
Yeah. So they'll tell you, well, there's no cure for it. And I'll say, no, you're absolutely right, but you can kill it.
Got it.
And you got to keep them. You got to keep them doctors on. Yeah, you're right. Ain't no cure, but you can kill it.
Got it. Okay. Well, William, we are so grateful for you to come and join us at IntellectualRadio.com and Here's the Life with Zemrah and Ed. You have given us so much. I've taken notes just sitting here. And I hope that our audience has, our listeners have really tuned in and been able to take some notes as well and really look at this, because it's nothing like doing what you have to do to keep your body in a natural state.
Say, William, how would our listeners get in touch with you?
773-551-2904.
Okay.
One more time for the crowd.
773-551-2904.
You have been an absolute jewel and so informative. I mean, we're doing your product. We had a couple of things that we were doing and that we're fixing to start this coming week on our products that you have put together for us. And, we just see and just know that it's going to be great, great results. We want to get Ed's voice back to normal.
I'm getting there.
Yeah. So we really appreciate your time. And we're going to ask our producer, did you have any other questions, Earl? Okay. All right. Thank you so much for joining us, William. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Be safe.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay. So you heard it right here at IntellectualRadio.com with Here's the Life with Zemrah and Ed. And that's what we want. We want life for our audience and ourselves. We want health. And what better way than to go for it naturally? So we hope and pray that you enjoyed this segment of our health questions and our health solutions. So we hope that you got a lot out of it. You have a wonderful evening. Again, we're here at IntellectualRadio.com every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. We hope you have a good evening. I'm Zemrah.
I'm here. Just remember, in order to live, we have to survive. In order to survive, we have to be healthy.
All right. You have a good night.
You know just what to do. You just think. Love is possible.